Hello, you guys. It is Gabrielle Victoria, also known as Rising High Priestess, coming at you today with your shade and shadow reading. I know it's a totally different setup going on over here. I wanted to change the energy up. There is a major shift coming in the cosmos, and it's all about tranquility. It's all about calm and not being super reactive. And I really had to listen to my energy this weekend, and my energy pulled me down. It pulled me back in and told me to just bring it down a little bit. So we're going to make the shade and shadow readings just as impactful, just as important, but they're going to be much more calm for me and for you, because we're in for a long ride in 2021. So without further ado, let's get started with today's shade and shadow reading. As per usual, check me out at risinghighpriestess.com for all of your spiritual goods, personal one-on-one sessions with me. I do offer spiritual consultations as well as tarot readings and, of course, shadow work. And I have some amazing oils as well, or so I hear. You can also find me at Rising High Priestess on Instagram and Rising High Priestess on YouTube. Now, without further ado, I would like for you to take a deep breath in. Bring your energy back into yourself. Center your energy. Exhale. I want you to focus on the cards in front of you. We have card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4. Which card stands out to you? Which card pulls you into it? Whichever card that is, that's the card meant for you today, and that's the card I will be reading for you. Shadow cards are meant to pull out some of our darkness and some of our ickiness, some of the self-sabotaging and toxic, also known as trash ways that we may nurture within ourselves that can be harmful to ourselves and to those that we love. And so the purpose of my work is to help you identify those issues within yourself so that you can become better. Okay? Let's get started. Card 1. The card that comes up for you if you pick card number 1 says, God is a goddess. God is a goddess speaks about seeing yourself as sacred, seeing yourself as a spiritual act in itself, seeing yourself as the altar and not the sacrifice, seeing yourself as worthy. Not just worthy, but also worth it. These two things are not always synonymous, and they are not always the same. Sometimes we lose our value in other people. We lose our worth and our sense of self. And so the God is a goddess card is really calling you to check back in with your divine feminine energy. What's going on with it? Is it chaotic? Because card 1, if this is you, you're not in tune with it right now. Either you're pouring too much of your divine feminine energy out, or you are hoarding it. You are terrified of giving it to someone, even to yourself. It's time for you to take your self-care to another level and really dive into nurturing your sacred self, nurturing your feminine energy. What does your feminine energy need from you? Not everyone else, but what does it need from you? What are you lacking in it? Sometimes this can be tending to some of the traumas from your past, especially when it deals with intimacy issues. If it deals with motherhood, if it deals with your female physique, your emotional aptitude and intelligence. Self-care is more than just bubble baths, sweetheart. It's more than champagne on Fridays with your girls. Self-care is taking care of the parts of you that everyone else around you seem to have forgotten about. And this includes you. So God is a goddess is asking you as a shadow to check in with your divine feminine energy and ask her, what does she need? Where does she lose herself? How does she get back to herself? How does she see herself again as worth it and worthy? How does she reconnect with her intimate side and intimacy? How does she feel that intimacy is for her again? Intimacy is not just for the other person, it's also for you. You also probably need to do like a spiritual detox, I would suggest, during this time. Sorry for the noise, my air conditioner came on. So that's card 1. If you pick card 2, the shadow card that came up for you says the rhythms of fate and the tickings of time. And I always like that there's like a little broomstick up here. I don't know if you guys can see it. It looks like a broomstick to me. This second shadow card deals with divine timing. And it deals with trusting divine timing. And when this comes up as a shadow card, which it did for those of you who picked card number 2, you have to learn to have patience with the divine and with spirit, and trust that things are happening for you and not to you, and understanding that we cannot rush any cosmic energy. We can only suppress it or manifest it. And the more upset we become with divine timing, and the more we feel as if the time isn't moving quick enough, the more likely we are to be at a total standstill and to stop it, because we're at that point rejecting it. And so this card is asking you to ask yourself, what am I in a hurry for? What am I rushing to get to? Who am I trying to prove a point to by reaching this deadline or this goal by this certain date? Are you trying to accomplish something for the sake of accomplishment? Or are you trying to accomplish something for the sake of comparison? Because when it comes to time, oftentimes when we get upset with divine timing, it's because we're in competition. Sometimes with our former selves, with our future selves, with other people. And so it's a matter of the ego. And that's one thing that the divine does not work with. Spirit does not work with ego. And so you need to reassess your goals. And you need to look at them from a spiritual standpoint. As you are asking Spirit to bring your manifestations into life, take an honest assessment and see if you are even ready for it. A lot of people spend a lot of energy, a lot of money, a lot of energetic currency manifesting things that they're not even ready for. They're spiritually out of tune. They're emotionally shut down. They're physically unfit. And Spirit knows that. And so Spirit says, listen, just do your part. We'll come through when we need to. Just trust us. Trust us. Trust yourself. If I go any faster, you're not going to be ready. And it's a waste of a manifestation. Or it's a waste of an opportunity. So learn to trust divine timing, card number 2. It's coming for you. Card number 3. For those who pick card number 3, this is for you. The shadow that comes for you, it says forgiven. You need to do some forgiveness, and not just of other people. Because your card was reversed, it seems that a lot of your forgiveness work is with self. Forgiving yourself for maybe wasted time. Forgiving yourself for staying. Forgiving yourself for not seeing the signs. Forgiving yourself for how you've treated yourself or other people. And more importantly, forgiving other people for what they've inflicted on you and what they projected onto you. You are going through a test that involves softening your heart right now. Your heart is far too callous. It's far too hard. And the crazy part is that you're not a cold-hearted person. You're not cold-hearted and you're not hard-hearted. But you feel that out of survival, this is who you must be. This is who you must learn to become. And it feels so unnatural for you. Don't you get tired of it? like it feels like you're always in acting mode, you know, like whenever you're in a relationship and someone hurts you, or a friendship and someone hurts you, and you have to put on this tough costume, and you have to carry out that energy, and you have to nurture that energy of hardness. Well, now is the time for undoing. Now is the time to forgive all of those who have trespassed against us. It doesn't mean that you have to reconnect. Forgiveness does not mean reconnection. A lot of people mistaken that. That's a no-no. Forgiveness simply means that you nor this situation no longer have control over me. Excuse me. You no longer have control over my emotions. You no longer have control over my feelings. You no longer dictate how my day goes or how my energy goes if I happen to think about you. And I no longer time travel to that space anymore where I'm hurt or I'm broken. I've taken what I can from it and I've grown from it. This is all about healing card number 3. It's time for you to heal. You have nursed your wounds long enough. Eventually, scar tissue forms. Eventually, the scarred skin starts to look like the regular skin. Anytime you don't forgive, it's literally like you're picking the scab and you're trying to make it raw again. Kids do that, right? Because they don't know better and they like, you know, gross stuff. But you're an adult. You've grown. You've learned. There's no need to let it get reinfected. It happened. Take from it what you can and release it, and release that person and release that situation. Free yourself from that. That should be your key word going into 2021. Your key phrase. Free yourself. And that is your card for card number 3. And now we get to card 4. Can you see it? There we go. For those who pick card number 4, ironically it says drink water. This can be as simplistic as drinking your H2O and making sure that you're hydrated, as I always remind you guys. And if you can't drink regular water, drink some tea, honey. Put some lemon in it and carry on. But drink water is also about a level of self-care. It's about making sure that you have at least your bare minimum before you give to anyone else. It's about making sure that you're taking care of your basic necessities. Sometimes we become so full and so busy taking care of other people that we neglect ourselves. We may not eat properly. We may not work out. We may not take our medicine like we're supposed to. Doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, what's that? Therapy, what's that? So this card is saying, hey, you can't take care of anyone else unless you take care of yourself. You can't tend to anyone else unless you tend to yourself. Stop being a mother to everyone but you. Stop being everyone else's caretaker instead of your own. If they love you, they'll understand that you have to pause for you. If they love you, they'll understand that you have to take care of you first. You're person number 1. You're ground zero, and you build up from that. The better you take care of yourself, the more you are able to better take care of those around you and those that you love. Because right now, sweetheart, you are running on fumes. And you're tired. And your body is needing rest, and your body is needing water, and your spirit is needing rest, and your spirit is needing to be fed spiritually. So take care of yourself. Take a step back. Take a week. Plan out your meals. Go for a walk. Get some air. If you don't like walking, go for a swim. If you can't swim, ride a bike. If you can't do that, I don't know, do chair aerobics or something. Eat some vegetables. Drink some water, clear your mind. Do an emotional detox, because you're also absorbing the energy of other people around you, and that's also why you're exhausted. So take care of yourself. And that is your card. I thank you all for joining me today, and I look forward to doing another Shade and Shadow with you. And with that being said, Bye.